This is a story of supernatural strength and human weakness. The story of Samson, a man chosen by God, yet often defeated by his own desires. A judge of Israel, destined to deliver his people from the Philistines. In those days, the Israelites were oppressed by the Philistines for 40 years. Their spirits were broken, their land under foreign rule, and hope seemed lost. But God was preparing a deliverer, a child yet to be born. In Zorah lived a man named Manoah from the tribe of Dan. His wife was barren until the angel of the Lord appeared to her, saying, "You will give birth to a son who will begin to save Israel." The angel said, "You must not drink wine or eat anything unclean. The boy's hair must never be cut. He will be a Nazirite, dedicated to God from the womb, set apart for his purpose." Manoah prayed for guidance, and the angel returned, confirming God's instructions. Soon after, a son was born, and they named him Samson. The Lord blessed him, and his spirit began to stir within him. When Samson became a man, he saw a Philistine woman in Timnah and said, "Get her for me as my wife." Those parents protested. This was part of God's plan to confront the Philistines. On the way to Timnah, a young lion charged at Samson. The Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon him, and he tore the lion apart with his bare hands, a glimpse of divine strength. Later, Samson found bees and honey in the lion's carcass. At his wedding feast, he posed a riddle. Out of the eater, something to eat. Out of the strong, something sweet. The Philistines couldn't solve his riddle and threatened his bride to get the answer. She wept until Samson gave in, and she betrayed him. Enraged, Samson struck down 30 men to pay his debt. When Samson returned, he discovered his wife had been given to another man. Anger filled his heart, and he plotted revenge on the Philistines who had shamed him. Samson caught 300 foxes, tied their tails together with torches, and released them into the Philistines' fields. Their grain, vineyards, and olive groves went up in flames. In retaliation, the Philistines burned Samson's wife and her father to death. Samson vowed revenge, struck them down fiercely, and hid himself in a cave at Etham. The Philistines marched on Judah to capture him. 3,000 Israelites came to hand him over. They bound him with new ropes, but when his enemies approached, the Spirit of the Lord came upon him. The ropes fell like burnt string. Samson grabbed a donkey's jawbone and struck down 1,000 men, crying, "With a donkey's jawbone I have made donkeys of them." God granted him great victory. Exhausted, Samson cried, "You've given me victory. Must I now die of thirst?" God opened a hollow place, and water gushed out. Samson drank and regained his strength. For 20 years, Samson judged Israel, but his weakness for women remained. In Gaza, he was trapped by his enemies, yet at midnight, he tore the city gates from their posts and carried them to a hilltop. Samson fell in love with Delilah in the valley of Sorek. The Philistine rulers bribed her, saying, "Find out the secret of his strength." 3 times she asked, and 3 times he deceived her. Delilah pressed him day after day until she finally told him, "My strength lies in my uncut hair. I am a Nazirite, dedicated to God from birth, set apart for his purpose." That night, as he slept, she called for a man to shave his hair. "Samson, the Philistines are upon you," she cried. He awoke, thinking he could break free, but the Lord had left him. The Philistines seized him, gouged out his eyes, and bound him in bronze chains. In prison, Samson was forced to grind grain. Blind and alone, he remembered the God who had once given him strength. and as he worked, his hair began to grow again. The Philistine rulers gathered in the temple of Dagon to celebrate. They brought Samson out to entertain them. He prayed, "Sovereign Lord, remember me. Strengthen me once more." He pushed against the pillars, crying, "Let me die with the Philistines." The temple collapsed, killing thousands, and in his death, he accomplished more than in his life. Samson's story reminds us that God can use even the flawed to fulfill his purpose.